What's up, VC? Kieran here, back again for another video. Needle Groove. We're going to do a response to Fred's Faces thread that people have been responding to. Great thread. Fred, Bigstar1000. So we're going to give a shot at it here. I have a big stack of records I couldn't really pick. There were so many as I was going through my collection. But since I'm new to the VC, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to just show some of the records from my collection that I really enjoy. So I'm just going to get straight into the records. Because I have so many, I'm not going to talk too much about the music, but these are records that I really like, records from my collection. So Fred, this is for you and for everyone else who's done the responded to the thread Faces. So here we go. First record, Bobby Humphrey, Blacks and Blues, classic. This is just a reissue. Look at that smile. Just young, happy. Great cover. A lot of jazz here. Next one, Shannon Jackson and the Decoding Society. Love that. He's looking at something. Looks like a thoughtful dude. Nasty. Good album. I don't have a lot of his albums. This has Vernon Reid on it. Bayard Lancaster. This is from 81. This one, next one's on Inner City, an artist I don't know too much about, but I started collecting a bunch of Inner City records. This is from the Steeplechase series, so Inner City, I guess, an American label, Steeplechase being from Denmark. And I really like, well, this record one, but this cover because it's all black and he just kind of blends into it. And it's really soulful, though, like even his beard, like, so you just see his face and it's popping out. So I really, really like that one. And he's really, really into his playing there, which is nice. Next one, awesome cover. Pretty funky record. Ramsey Lewis, Salongo. How's that for a face? There you go. This one, this record is one of the first records I picked up. Not first, but you know, years ago when I didn't know too much about records. Bob Mover, Things Unseen. Kind of a common theme I see in these faces when I was going through my collection is they're looking up or down and away. But there he's looking like he's looking at something, looking like he's thinking. Sorry for the reflection here. This one's on, I don't know how to say it, Xanadu Records from 83. I like this record, it's nice. Next up, from Montreal, my hometown, Oscar Peterson. Look at that smile. Jolly good fellow. Live from Chicago on Verve. That's a nice face right there. Next two are from the same artist, one of my favorite jazz artists, John Coltrane. So this is one that I don't hear too many people talking about, and I didn't know about until recently. Like when I used to listen to jazz on CD, I never saw this one. It never came up for me. I'm sure most of you in the VC know it, but it's just self-titled Coltrane, and it's a hard cover to see because it's dark, but it's just Coltrane. It's kind of a bluey purple. Sorry for the glare, but this is an awesome cover. I absolutely love it. Very blue, soulful, moody, and it matches the music really well. If you don't know this Coltrane album, I definitely recommend that you pick it up. Just an awesome cover. That's on Impulse. You know, classic. Impulse, Gatefold. I think this one's from 62, the album. Next one, most of you know, just had to show it. I'm sure it's been shown in this thread already. Love Supreme. Another classic Coltrane record. There are so many. Next one, kind of a different style cover. Jack DeJohnette's first record, the DeJohnette Complex. And it's just a little circle with a young Jack there. It looks so young and innocent and happy. Kind of different style of face cover where instead of taking up the whole jacket, it's just focused in there. So that's different. That's and then if you see on the back, you have a bigger picture of Jack there. His first one. We got Stanley Cowell on here, Eddie Gomez, Roy Haynes on drums, Miroslav Vitas, however you say that. So yeah, it's a cool record. Next one, some Latin flavor, another different style. That's why I thought I'd show it. Instead of one face, you got the whole band. This is Dead or Alive, Joe Cuba Sextet, Wanted Dead or Alive. Another great record. This is a reissue. A record I actually haven't listened to that much, but is a later record, 80s, Terence Trent D'Arby, Introducing the Hardline Accordion 2. Great, great cover. Great Faces cover there. That one's cheap. You guys can find that cheap, $4. Probably find it even cheaper. This one, classic. Not really a face, it's more of a head looking down. Isaac Hayes, Hot Buttered Soul. Sample to death. There's him on the back. There's his full face. This one has the sample for one of my favorite Public Enemy songs on here. This is kind of, I guess, not animated, but Gil Scott Heron Bridges, a reissue. I don't have any of his originals. I don't see them too often here in Montreal, but I love Gil Scott Heron. Here you have him and Brian Jackson. That's a reissue. Never see his original. Oh, I think I have one, but you don't see too often. Next up, one of my favorite Kudu records. I don't love too many, but Esther Phillips, Alone Again Naturally, and this cover is awesome. Look at that. That is some soulful stuff, just like the music. And it goes with the title, Alone Again Naturally. She just looks sad. And yeah, you can just see it, feel it in her. You have a different angle. This and Whisper, Scream, can't remember the name of the album, is another great Kudu album by Esther Phillips. So here's that Up, Looking Up and Away Again. Hank Crawford, More Soul. So Hank Crawford played with, I believe, Ray Charles. This is on Atlantic from, I think, the early 60s. Soulful record, just good soul jazz. Nothing crazy, but enjoyable listen. Another one of my favorite jazz artists here, Charles Mingus. I was just listening to this record before. Pretty good. Pretty good record. 70s effort. 74 on Atlantic by Mingus. Just see his everything. His beard, his skin, just weathered and tough. And Mingus moves. Says it all. Love Charles Mingus. Just found a Charles Mingus record this week. I'll show you guys that in a Jazz Finds record soon. This is totally different, but I just pulled it out because it's a great shot of Bob Dylan's face. Hard Rain. Bob Dylan fans, anyone? This is what's playing in the background. Julius Rockington, Sophisticated Funk. So you just have, that's not Julius Rockington obviously, but that's a nice descriptive cover. Sexy. That. Good record. I had showed the Brockingtons record in my Soul Funk and Soul reissue. Two more records. One, this is a record from 2000 something, but an old artist. It's Derfreklaw. So I didn't know who this was, but I love the cover. This is one of the ones I got from that sale that I told you about. So the reason I picked this up is he played featuring former members of, so this whole album is former members of the Ramsey Lewis Band, the Eddie Harris Group, and the legendary 70s jazz funk ensemble, the Pharaohs, which is why I picked this up, because I love the Pharaohs. If any of you don't know, the Pharaohs, the album The Awakening is killer. Their cover of, I can't even remember the name of the song, but check out that album. What's the name of the song? Anyway, track 2, I think, on that. Track 2 or 3. But this is pretty cool. It's a double LP from the Nile, kind of some spiritual jazz. There's some funky stuff, but it's more spiritual, and it's a great cover. So for cheap, I picked it up. I don't love all of this record, but that is this face here. Almost looks like he's blowing out some smoke or something, but I don't know if he is. And lastly, it's not really a face, but it's a face, but without a face, is a record a lot of you in the VC probably know. It's been shown, Flying Lotus's new album. And Now You're Dead. I was listening to this the other day. I love the artwork on this. I think it's done by a Japanese guy. wild. Pretty good record too. Good listen. Love that Kendrick Lamar track. Anyway, that's it for my faces. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Thanks for starting the thread, and we'll see you guys soon. I think I'm going to do a Jazz Finds video soon. Peace. Kieran, Needle Groove.